know why you keep getting played, why you misread her every time and end up confused, disappointed, or worse, invested in someone who never even showed up emotionally? It's because you don't know how to read the truth she never says out loud. You're listening to her words, but you're missing her energy. You're focused on her smile, her laugh, her attention, but not once did you pause to study her alignment. Let me tell you something. A woman's mouth can lie, but her energy won't. And if you can't read the language of her truth in the first 3 seconds, you'll end up caught in a connection built on illusion. Women don't reveal themselves in paragraphs. They reveal themselves in seconds. Her tone, her eyes, the way she tilts her head when you speak, the delay in her reply when she's not feeling you but doesn't want to say it directly. All of that is data. The real ones know you don't wait for clarity. You feel it. You read it. You discern it. And if you want to stop wasting time on mixed signals, surface level attraction, or women who don't even know what they want, you better learn how to read that truth fast. Let's break it down. You can hear her talk, you can listen to her compliments, you can get flattered by her attention, but if you're not paying attention to the energy she walks in with, you're already behind. Because women, real women, don't show up in truth with everyone. They choose who gets access to their real energy. And that's the first thing you need to observe. Not her words, not her outfit, not how hard she laughs at your joke, but her energy field the second she steps in. You'll feel it before you see it. There's a difference between politeness and presence. One is social conditioning. The other is a spiritual signal. When a woman is interested, even subtly, her energy leans forward. She's not just in the room, she's present with you. There's engagement in her eyes, openness in her posture, softness in her tone. You feel pulled in, not pushed back. Her energy isn't closed, guarded, or performative. It's receptive. But if she walks in and her vibe feels heavy, distracted, flat, or worse, detached, don't ignore that, because too many men get hooked on how she looks and ignore how she feels. You're watching her lips and missing her frequency. And the truth is, most women are trained to entertain without interest. That's why energy never lies. She might be smiling at you while planning her exit. She might be responding to your texts while emotionally checked out. Her words are trying to maintain connection, but her energy has already disconnected. You've got 3 seconds to catch it. The tilt of her body, the stillness in her energy, the tone she uses when she says your name. You think these are little things? They're not. They are everything, because a woman's truth isn't broadcasted. It's leaked through her energy, through her nonverbals, through the little micro signals that most men overlook because they're too busy trying to impress instead of read. This is what separates emotionally aware men from emotionally confused ones, the ones who listen to more than her words, the ones who can pick up on when a woman is engaging out of obligation versus when she's engaging with intention. When you feel her light up without forcing it, when her eyes meet yours and don't immediately drift away, when she doesn't just reply, she responds, you're not guessing, you're sensing. Her energy is the first truth she'll ever give you. And if you miss it in the first 3 seconds, you'll spend months trying to get back to what her spirit already told you in silence. You want to know where her truth lives? It's in her eyes, not her lips, not her posts, not the way she flips her hair or the way she texts you, I'm fine. Her eyes are the giveaway, because no matter how much a woman has trained herself to say the right thing, do the right thing, play it cool, stay polite, her eyes don't lie. See, a woman's eyes are her unfiltered truth. They're the one place she forgets to perform. You can read disappointment, admiration, indifference, desire, and even fear all within the first few seconds of eye contact. You just have to be quiet enough to look. Most men rush to fill the space with charm, ego, or validation. But the men who win are the ones who study silence, her stillness, her stare. Pay attention to where her gaze lands when you speak. Does she look into you or through you? Does her attention drift like she's rehearsing an exit, or does she stay locked in like your presence holds weight? If her words are saying, I'm listening, but her eyes are scanning the room, she's not with you. She's enduring you. And too many of you get played because you don't read the quiet exit. You wait for her to ghost you when she's already gone emotionally. Women are taught to maintain social harmony. That means she might smile to be polite, laugh to avoid conflict, compliment you because it's expected, but her eyes don't cooperate with that script. Her eyes will tell you when she's impressed, when she's irritated, when she's bored, when she's silently asking, "Do you even see me?" And if you're not catching that language, you're not in the conversation. You're just on stage performing. You ever notice how her eyes light up when she talks to certain people? How they go soft when she's safe, but sharp when she's guarded? That contrast is the truth. You can't fake the eyes. Even when a woman is trying to play it cool, even when she's acting like she's unbothered, detached, or too busy, her eyes betray her every time. And let's flip this. If she's into you, her eyes linger. They hold. They soften. She may not say much, but her gaze won't hide. She might look away out of nervousness, but she'll come back again and again because there's something in your presence that's pulling her in, and her eyes will always go where her energy is fed. So don't just listen to what she says. Don't just notice what she wears. Study what she can't control. Her eyes will flash truth for just a second, and if you miss it, you'll miss the invitation or the warning. Either way, her eyes already spoke. You just weren't paying attention. You think her attention is the biggest sign? No. Her silence is. Because a woman's silence is never empty. It's either loaded with observation, distance, disappointment, or the quiet processing of what she's already decided but hasn't said. See, women aren't always going to confront you, especially not when they feel like you wouldn't understand. Instead, they pull back. They go quiet. Their words dry up, but their silence becomes loud. That silence, that's the shift. That's when she's no longer trying to fix it. That's when she's done explaining. That's when she doesn't care to clarify anymore. And you'll feel it. She'll still be present, but the warmth will be gone. The softness in her tone, gone. The way she used to respond within minutes, now is hours, maybe days. You'll hear her say, "I'm just tired," but tired is the cover. She's emotionally checked out. You'll notice how the conversation starts to feel like obligation, like she's maintaining contact out of habit, not desire. She'll stop asking questions, stop initiating, stop investing little energies like, "Did you eat? How was your day?" Because in her world, those weren't just casual words. They were emotional signals. Once those vanish, you're in the afterglow of a connection that's quietly dying. You're still texting her, but the version of her you once had access to, that version already walked out. A woman who's emotionally engaged won't stay silent. She'll question, she'll push, she'll want clarity, even if she's emotional, even if she's hurt. Because effort still lives in her voice. But once she hits silence, that's not peace. That's detachment. That's her protecting her energy, not inviting you into it. And it's not always because you did something big. Sometimes it's the small things over time, the repeated patterns you didn't correct, the dismissive tone you used one too many times, the way you made her feel unheard, unseen, unimportant. And she didn't start with silence, she started with effort. But you didn't hear her until she stopped talking. Men misunderstand silence. They think it means she's calm, that everything's fine. But real silence from a woman is an absence. It's withdrawal, emotional withdrawal. And if you're still reading her behavior through physical presence, you'll miss the emotional exit that happened long before the relationship ends. Even in a first interaction, her silence is data. If you say something deep and she goes quiet, it could mean she's resonating or it could mean she's offended. If you try to flirt and she doesn't engage, she's not shy, she's disinterested. You've got to learn to decode silence, not be confused by it. Because when she chooses not to speak, that doesn't mean there's nothing to say. It means what needed to be said was already said, and now she's letting her distance say the rest. You want to know how a woman truly sees you? Watch what she mirrors. Because women don't mimic what they don't respect. You think she's being cute when she starts using your slang, copying your tone, matching your energy. But that's not just affection. That's alignment. That's her subconscious saying, "I respect how you move, so I'm going to meet you there." When a woman respects you, she doesn't just follow your lead, she reflects it. If you're calm, grounded, intentional, she starts to shift that way too. If you're bold, clear, and direct, She doesn't shrink from that, she adapts to it. But if you're inconsistent, unsure, emotionally sloppy, she won't mirror you, she'll manage you. And that's a completely different energy. See, mirroring isn't manipulation, it's resonance. It's an unspoken, unconscious acknowledgement that who you are is worth synchronizing with, that your presence sets a tone she wants to be in rhythm with, that your emotional frequency feels safe to match. But you got to earn that. And not with money, not with charm, but with presence, with consistency, with integrity. You'll notice how she starts texting in your rhythm, starts picking up on your sayings, starts aligning her pace with yours. That's a woman tuning herself to a frequency she respects. She doesn't do that for every man. So if she's not mirroring you, if you always feel like you're chasing her tempo, like she's constantly out of sync with you, it's not chemistry that's missing, it's respect. And don't confuse compliance with respect. A woman can agree with you out loud and still not mirror your vibe. She can say, yeah, that makes sense, but her energy stays detached. That's surface, that's social. But when she starts showing up in sync with you without even realizing it, that's respect manifesting emotion. And when she doesn't mirror, don't beg for it. Don't chase. Don't lower your standard to gain her imitation. Just understand, she's showing you without words that you haven't earned that energetic alignment yet, or that she's not in a place to give it. Either way, don't force a reflection where there is no recognition. When a woman truly respects the way you speak, the way you carry yourself, the way you lead, she will echo that. Not because you ask her to, because her spirit picked up on the rhythm of yours and said, this feels steady, this feels real, this feels safe to reflect. That's not game, that's not control. That's just how feminine energy responds to grounded masculine presence. And the moment you stop needing her to follow is the moment she naturally starts to. A woman's presence is the clearest indicator of her emotional investment. And if her presence feels like a roller coaster, hot one day, distant the next, it's not mystery, it's misalignment. See, real interest doesn't confuse you. It doesn't leave you guessing. It flows. It builds. But inconsistency, that's the signal. A silent flag that says she's not all the way in. Women don't withhold consistency when they're genuinely into you. When a woman respects you, desires you, or feels emotionally safe around you, her presence stabilizes. She doesn't need to perform. She doesn't disappear to create space. She shows up with energy, not just availability. And her consistency becomes effortless, not transactional. But if you find yourself waiting on replies, reading into delayed responses, replaying every shift in her mood, what you're really doing is chasing alignment that doesn't exist. You're interpreting inconsistency as mystery when really it's detachment dressed up as effort. One day she's affectionate, next day she's cold. One week she's curious, the next she's unreachable. That's not complexity. That's someone who hasn't decided if you're worth deciding on. The dangerous part is inconsistent women often do just enough to keep you around. They know how to sprinkle attention when they feel like it, give you just enough access to make you hope it means more. But that's not interest, that's convenience. And if you're emotionally hungry, you'll accept it. You'll mistake her crumbs for connection, and you'll start trying to fix the inconsistency, thinking if you say the right thing, do the right thing, prove your value harder, she'll finally stabilize. But you can't build something real with someone whose energy is undecided. You'll always feel like you're walking on emotional eggshells, always questioning what version of her you're going to get today. That's not intimacy. That's confusion. Now, let's be clear. Life happens. People get busy, but energy doesn't lie. Even when she's unavailable, her presence is still felt. If her interest is real, it's in her tone, in her effort, in the way she circles back to make you feel seen, even when she's stretched thin. That's emotional consistency. And you don't have to beg for it when it's genuine. But if her presence keeps fading without reason, if she's hot and cold with no real explanation, if you constantly feel the need to check where you stand, it's not your job to decode her. It's your job to discern her. Emotional consistency is a choice, not a personality trait. And if she can't choose you with clarity, don't wait around in her confusion hoping it becomes commitment. Because when a woman is truly into you, she doesn't pull away to think. She shows up to build.